Well, chaotic scenes have played out in KwaZulu-Natal, as we know, over the past few days. Supporters of former President Jacob Zuma taking their anger at his arrest to the streets. Well, trucks have been torched and major roads have been disrupted. Provincial MECs Pegin Konieni and Ravi Pillay have briefed the media at Moy River. Let's find out what they had to say. eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge was there. Siphamandla, good afternoon to you. And yeah, what is it that the MECs were there to do? What were they investigating? What happens now?
We don't know what happens now. They do not know what happens now. They came here very late. They've been criticized for that, but they are adamant that they were not sleeping on the job here. They say, well, they condemn what has happened. They are calling for peace and calm. It's something we've heard before, but the question is, what was done to prevent these chaotic scenes and this anarchy that has been going on here? The torching of the trucks on the M3 is not something new. It's been happening every year, but previously it's been associated with xenophobic attacks where locals will just burn the trucks, complaining and alleging that the freight industry employs foreign nationals and do not employ local people to drive those trucks. Trucks have been torched before here, according to MEC Ravi Pillay, responsible for economic development in KwaZulu-Natal. I think about 33 trucks that had been torched before. The number was estimated to be 25. If I heard him correctly, he said something along the lines of 33 trucks that have been torched. Millions of rands here in terms of damage. You know, businesses here have been looted, liquor and food outlets have been looted. So the political leadership here basically came just to assess the situation. The freeway has been opened, now reopened. Traffic is flowing. They just came to assess the situation, and they say there are plans in place to prevent this from happening, but they were unable to unpack those plans, saying, well, for security reasons, they can't divulge much. But the question remains, why was this not prevented? Let's listen to MEC Ravi Pillay explaining about the impact and the damage.
If we just look at the 33 trucks that were damaged or burned, shops that were looted, at this stage a conservative estimate would be 100 million rand, a conservative estimate, but that would be collated more thoroughly between now and tomorrow.
Oh, well, Sipa, does it seem then that maybe those protests have indeed moved away from KZN and moved into Gauteng, as you are aware, or are we still expecting, are they still on the watch, especially as night falls?
It is widely believed that tomorrow will be a national shutdown, or at least, let me say, will be a provincial shutdown in KwaZulu-Natal. Those are the messages that are circulating on social media, on WhatsApp. It seems as if more protest actions are planned for tomorrow, and that is the day that will coincide with former President Jacob Zuma's application for the Constitutional Court to rescind its judgment. We know that the matter will be heard at the Constitutional Court tomorrow. Yes, there are reports that these protests have spread to other parts of the country, including Gauteng province. But it's not surprising. There were calls, there is public information that suggests that there were calls that such should go to other provinces, including Gauteng, Free State, the Eastern Cape and some parts of Mpumalanga, at least according to those who say they are organizing such protests, even though they don't want to speak on record and on camera. Those are the provinces that they had targeted. They said they were planning something in the Eastern Cape, in KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, Mpumalanga and the Free State. So it's not surprising that we are seeing what is happening now in Gauteng, because they did mention that Gauteng was one of the targets. Then again, the question will go to law enforcement authorities to say, what has been done with that? Even here in KwaZulu-Natal, executive authorities, they do concede that they keep on chasing shadows here, because they will send police to go and quell tensions and protest in one part of the province, only for those protests to basically emerge somewhere else within the province. MEC Pegin Konieni, who's responsible for transport and community safety and liaison, saying, well, they did not sleep on the job, even though the provincial leadership here in KwaZulu-Natal and law enforcement authorities have been criticized for lacking intelligence to pick up what was about to happen here. Listen to Pegin Konieni defending her and the law enforcement agencies.
we might be arriving now as the political leadership, but our teams have been on the ground ever since this thing happened. So we were in offices ensuring that there are plans. We were developing plans, and we have developed very clear plans that were discussed in the Provincial Executive Council even yesterday. They were approved by the Executive Council, and we are really satisfied with what the provincial government has actually done regarding this.
Oh, Sipha, they seem to be satisfied, but like you say, they're not divulging any future plans to get this under control. But what's your feeling? You've been out there for days and nights now, and you've seen firsthand what is happening there on the ground. Do you think that they will be able to rein this in? Do you think that the authorities have actually the manpower, they have the will to actually get this under control?
I think they will continue to struggle with this, based on what people are saying. Even here in Moy River, people were openly saying, well, let the authorities come, let them tell you, the media people, whatever they want to tell you. The minute they leave, we cannot guarantee that the freeway will not be blocked. So that tells you that you can't predict what will happen. People are saying, well, we may retreat for a couple of hours or few days, but we will start again with this. And it's not only in this part of the world. The N3 highway is only strategic because it's one of the most busiest trade routes which connects KwaZulu-Natal, the Free State and Gauteng. Those 33 trucks that were charged were going to inbound provinces carrying goods and services that are essentials, that are needed in other parts of the country and somewhere else in the continent of Africa. So it's not clear whether authorities have a clear plan on how to deal with this or not. All of that will have to be basically assessed tomorrow. We expect that these protests will continue tomorrow. The way they respond tomorrow will answer your question whether they have a plan or not. For now, they say they do have a plan. The question is, why was it not implemented before this anarchy? They say, well, now that the anarchy is gone, done and dusted, they are hoping to implement their plan tomorrow. We asked them what will happen if you fail to deal with this tomorrow too, or in days to come. They said wait and see.